Now, once in a while, I like to talk about indie projects, specifically indie projects that just sort of interest me. Sometimes they do interest me. I have nothing to say about it. I just keep it in the sidelines, and others automatically I want to talk about. And today I want to talk about a sideline project that I always wanted to talk about it, but I didn't know how to officially tackle it till I realized today on June the 10th that was sort of the fifth anniversary of the Owl House, and I decided let's just do it. And now, what is this sort of side project or fan project called Philip Warren Bones? Or whipping depends because I have dyslexia. Sometimes I read something doesn't mean what it says. I do apologize because I think I just call it Warren Bones. I just apologize ahead of time, or weeping. I'm not sure anymore. I'm just confused. But anyway, let's continue on. This is sort of a Pacific project. You follow Bessie Bellup's sort of backstory. In fact, if you don't know who is Bellops, Bellops is sort of the main villain of basically the Owl House. That unfortunately the show was cancelled and didn't allow that much space to actually fully explore Bella's backstory. We just have sort of synopsis. In fact, the smart, sneaky way to sort of tell a very dark story is just sort of use Bella's memories as photos to sort of go around that couldn't actually explain it or show you. It just sort of show you images, a total of 28 images of total of Bello's backstory when he was a kid, why he became a witch hunter, how he became the evil villain Bellows, and what happened to his brother. But they just sort of like a story beat line words that it just tell a little event just by images. Each single images just tell you a moment of Bello's life, but because of this, made it more interesting, more fun for the fans by accident because it allowed the fans to reinterpret each single photo of the 27 memories of Bellows because we could switch and connect and interpret however you want to believe how Bellows became Bellows. And some of it, it's sort of everybody has the same idea, others have different interpretations, but at the same time, have a lot of gaps because it just story beats, sort of images of the moments of Bellows. But because of this, it's sort of your interpretation of just the follow in what happened in between. And this is what we get to basically Magpie. Because a Magpie, he or she or they decided to do sort of 1 minute or to 3 minute little shorts of each single basically image or memory of Bellows of the famous photos of a backstory. And you know what? It truly works. On top of this, because it has some sort of gaps like explanation, like what happened to Bellows' parents, what happened when he joined the sort of village of witch hunters. Did they like him? Do not like him? They struggled to become friends. Who adopted him? There are a lot of questions and fans really want to know, and Magpie pretty answered most of them. In fact, Magpie did states or post on his YouTube channel saying he would basically do sort of a short each single post of the memories of Bellows. For right now, he only has 7 of the 27, but even that, it started becoming a web series. In fact, the first episode sort of kind of explore how Bellows and his brother Pitt sort of started to understand death, because that specific episode sort of introduced Pip sort of a dead frog that he became friends with it, but the next time he came with it, it sort of died, and he just sort of can't really grasp death. And Bellows attempted to calm his brother down, sort of explain why. But I love it. It's more, you can see the moments kind of how he became so attached to his brother, how he wear the mask, the coat, the name, everything sort of connected to his little brother Pip. And this is so well interesting about the shorts, because each single short, it's just sort of Bellows doing something, and sort of a flashback just sort of kicks in. Like where he's just making the mask, he remember why he gives the mask to his brother, or why he gives the coat, or how he met the first time the wish, or how he met the collector, the god kid of the Owl House. And that's what's sort of interesting. It's just little by little, each single short sort of builds the world so well that you are completely intrigued to see how they could have reinterpreted it instead of next scene. Before I continue on, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation to reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going, you like to help my channel, put a like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. Just one of them really helps my channel because I have a goal of 2,000 subscribers. And yes, I'm getting close every single day because of people like you. People put like, comment, and share. Thank you. Now, let's get started of the indie project called Warm Bones. Of course, I found this sort of fascinating project because Magpie does respond a few questions and answers. One of the things that he did respond, or she or they respond, saying he's just sort of a one person doing this project. This would take him about 6 to 8 months per basically video now words. Each video is like a minute to maybe 3 to 4 minutes long. It's not that long, but it sort of focuses a sort of specific image of basically Bell's memories. But it's sort of interesting because how he sort of reinterpret each single basically image. Each single image added new context, new lore, more interesting things that you actually have to rewatch a couple times to fully get it. Like, for example, how basically Philip sort of found the dead frog. It's sort of a metaphor of Bellows, how he made a grim marker because he sort of misses his own brother, a own twisted, sick way that every time he does it, he runs away. But he killing it off and restarts over again or making another grim marker as his own brother. But this is sort of kind of the metaphor of that Pacific episode, episode 1, trying to understand the reasoning why Bellows makes grim markers of his own brother. This is the moment, at least the fan lore. This is not fully canon, but this is what I mean. It's sort of sneakily smart way how to reinterpret that and made it sort of a metaphor. Even that the creator says he sometimes try to make metaphors, but he's not sure, or he or she or they could not make it sense sometimes, and that's why you have to cross your fingers, hoping it does make sense. Most of the videos that make sense or add no more context. For example, what happened to the village they accept Beto and Phillips the first time? Both of them do admit they struggle, but they give it more context. What do you mean they struggle to join the village? Well, you see, both characters can't really fit in the village, especially his little brother, Philip, that he struggled to make friends. Even that, they have a specific episode that he explains he kind of misses his brother, even that he's there, that he wants to talk to him, not just say hi like a stranger. He wants to hang out. He wants to walk in the forest and just talk. And that's the problem. Bellows sort of pushes him away. He must be perfect. And that's just a 2 minute sort of kind of video. And that says a lot because you're wondering why Bellows keep pushing your brother. He doesn't have power. He doesn't have fame. He doesn't have that kind of crazy idea they have to kill every single witch. He's just like a normal average guy, attempting to survive in the village. And yet he's so distant on the brother. Even that his brother is trying to be understanding. He needs his brother to have some connection to someone, and his brother keep pushing him away. And that's just sort of very interesting. You don't know why. He's just not sure. But I love it, even though they just have a small conversation, they are truly brothers because how they talk to each other, how they know each other, how loving your brother is there. It's how, sort of the context, how he says certain words, how he jokes around, how he just sort of plays around with the idea like, yeah, everybody needs me because I am the greatest, basically seed artist or potato artist to big potatoes, in other words. But ironically, no, they just want him to work. But what's more, that sort of context, like he is just being sarcastic with his brother. But it's sort of questioning his own little brother, Pip, like why he doesn't want to hang on with him. In fact, in the short, he sit down in the staple and write his journal, asking himself on his journal, why his brother doesn't want to hang out with him. In fact, he had a third theory. He just started trying to avoid him, cut him off, but he doesn't know why. And the last line really hurts you, that he just wanted to fix it. He didn't know what he did wrong. And that is just sort of very strong writing. He really understands the creator, understands the characters, understands Bessie Bellows, understands the sort of situation, how Bellows become sort of brainwashed. Oh, he was broken before he got there, because in the first official episode, that it really points out Bellows and Pip's parents were hanged. At least this sort of fan-made version of it, because the original canon work, they never really explained what happened to their parents. People interpreted this as a 1600s, maybe the plague, or maybe they thought they were witches, they were hanged. We just don't know. And this is what the creator sort of thought himself or herself, or they, that their parents were hanged. And they don't say it, they show it, because each single short kind of shows you certain things and allow you to interpret them. Yeah, I think this is the reason why this sort of Warm Bones animated project was sort of popular, because the interpretation. Some of them goes to close to a quarter to a million to a million views, depends which short you watch. Each short is sort of well made, even that you do realize some of the animation is a little clunky. I mean clunking like the walk style, but once more, I'm not saying it's bad, I'm saying it's a charm. Because let's face it, it's sort of hard to do animation, especially with yourself, the one who editing, writing, animating the character designs, the lore, everything except the voices, but you get the idea. It's sort of hard to be perfect, but I give it a sort of charm to it, because there's some moments that I do believe this is the original show of the original Owl House, because the animation sometimes is pretty good. It's something like kind of blows you away. Sometimes it reminds you, yeah, this is sort of a one-man band, because sometimes the characters move kind of odd, or the camera is sort of off a sort of way that just sort of throws you off for a second, but you kind of realize, oh yeah, this is independent. Of course, they can take the sort of easy route. Let's face it, I would do it too. If I have a popular web series, I probably do a lot of tricks of making the same dialogue interesting, or keeping the camera in the same spot multiple times, because it's sort of hard to remove the characters one side, the other, or a completely different angle, make it more basically work for me. I don't want to do that. I get it. In other words, I'm not judging the creator, I am applauding the creator, because let's face it, you would do the same thing if you are making your own independent project. But other than that, this is just intriguing, because there are other kind of shorts that also caught my attention, like how Bellows kind of fall into the Boeing Isles. There has one that he's sort of walking on the basically Boeing Isles on snow, that he kind of sees some witches, he pass out, how he dreams with the collector, explaining maybe this is his war version, how he meant the collector. You have a lot of weird sort of not dialogue, but sort of insert your own memories. Effect, this whole 7 shorts feel sort of kind of like a memory moments of Bellows. Like I said at the very beginning, that it feels like what you do your daily lives. Like when you were driving, drinking milk, or just paying the bills, you grab like a pen or look in someone that looks familiar, and your memory just sort of clicks. Something that sort of specific moment it happens, and you remember that moment, and you just keep moving on because you're doing something else. And this is all the shorts kind of feels like, almost like a dream state, not words, but only 2 to 3 minute sort of kind of episodes, not words. It does work. I want to say 80% of this feels just like a normal short, but most of it feels like a dream sort of state, not words. But it's just something you notice. That's what I mean. I didn't know maybe the creator want it this way, or this was sort of an accident, but give you a sort of idea. In fact, I highly recommend watch this if you want to see more the Owl House, because it's really good. It's also really short. In fact, you could finish the all 7 shorts under probably 20 minutes ish in a way. It's not that long, but it's something that when you finish watching, you want more. You become a fan. You want to know more the interpretation of the creator of this specific fan made project, because it is kind of interesting. If you do watch the mini series or web series, I highly recommend read the synopsis of Magpie and read all the comics, because it's sort of interesting. Especially Magpie has a habit of basically answering some questions, and also kind of showing his interpretation of a specific photo of Bellows was his interpretation. Also answering some questions, can you use some of his videos for a mix of videos? He has a lot of questions he attempted to answer, but also sort of interesting his interpretation of every single image or video he makes, or her or they make now words, because it's just sort of fascinating how someone sees something and he decides to blend it with the lore of the original Owl House, but it's also sprinkling his own lore to make it sense. But it just works so well. It's just sort of blending this sort of interesting sort of synopsis or understanding of Bellows. It really does work really well. This is what I mean. If you're a fan of that host, you want a little bit more, especially of Bellows, just to sort of understand him or explore why he became Bellows. This is a very perfect project for you. Especially you realize this is a fan-made project, this is not canon, because they do kind of suggest religious sort of elements. Like why, for example, like the first official episode, Bella's little brother Philip, that he sort of cried when his frog died and asked why God punished him. Even that he also states he doesn't use his bad hand, his right hand, to be good. In other words, that's something that party in the 1600s tells you to never write in your left hand. That's the devil's hand, or something like that. They have like a little sort of religious sort of ideals in Pacific some shorts, like how the snake represents the devil. You should kill it for no apparent reason, because the belief system of Christianity, in other words. And that's why I mean, it sort of sneaks a little bit things that Disney probably will never allow, but at the very end, it sort of makes sense, because the 1600s, how they live, how to survive, the only thing they believed in God to mentally be unstable for at least longer, in other words, because of Captain Fever. If you don't know, back in the 1600s, or even more further, that if you basically live in a small village, the only thing you actually have to get mentally stable is reading books or believing in God, one or the other, because you have to basically think of something on the moment, because if you live yourself by your own thoughts, you probably drive yourself on crazy, because people are social people, that we need to talk other people, even that you hate people to talk with, in other words. And that's what I mean. It's just sort of interesting how they reinterpret sort of things in the series just to grab so much attention and more interesting sort of point of view of Bellows, in other words. There are more episodes before the official, because the first episode is the official episode. There have been other shorts before it, but this is, I think, the first time Magpie decided to take it serious. This one I mean is the one he decided to take serious, then thereafter. But everything sort of kind of canon together, because Magpie did state that he or she or they were focused on whatever kind of photo of memory of Bellows that they feel like it. In other words, the one that grabbed him or her the most attention. If he want to see the one that he's talking about, the witch, he will make, or she or he or they make that specific short, add more context and lore to his version of it. That's what I mean. You probably be 20, a total of 27 shorts. Right now I'm doing 7, 20 left to go, but not counting the add-on sort of shorts, they feel it makes sense to continue this sort of small mini project because it is interesting and fascinating, and something I do highly recommend watch Magpie's project if you're a fan of Owl House, because it is really good. That's pretty much I need to say about this project. In fact, the only thing left to say, have you seen the project Weeping? That you like it, you hate it, you know it exists? Tell me down below, let me know. I got nothing else to say, just thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Bye.